There are a few things in Wild About Hurry that I quite liked, but it's not my favourite Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner cartoon. This is, of course, a Warner Brothers cartoon released in 1959, directed by Chuck Jones and written by Michael Maltese. And I'll just mention two things that I liked. I don't want to give away too much, but I'll also mention a third thing, which I feel is almost identical to something else in a different cartoon. But as is always the setup, we have Wile E. Coyote trying various different things to capture the Roadrunner, and the things he tries, some of them are actually quite unique. Even if I didn't find it that engaging at certain points, it's still quite fresh. Although we did have the giant rubber band, which always gives us brilliant sound effects, as is always the case, but I feel like I've seen one too many rubber bands with Wile E. Coyote cartoons. But the things that I liked, so I guess these are small spoilers. I'm going to discuss the various aspects, but I won't discuss what happens with them, of course. But the things that I liked include the train tracks and what Wile E. Coyote did on the train tracks. I thought they looked tremendous fun, and it was very well animated. That worked really well. I also liked the water, partly because we don't often get that much water in Wile E. Coyote cartoons, given the setting. But it was very well animated. The water, a lovely blue color, but also what Wile E. Coyote was inside on the water. And I won't give it away, but I will say that visually it looked great, and the destruction of that object was brilliant. Over time, we saw it getting deteriorating, and it was very well done and really well animated, and I think quite unique. I don't think I've seen that before in a Wile E. Coyote cartoon, so I really appreciated that. There was one bit, however. It's the bit where there's a rock hanging off of the edge of a cliff, and Wile E. Coyote jumps on the rock and repeatedly stamps on it, trying to get it to fall. What happens afterwards is different, but I'm sure the image of him jumping on that rock is identical to the image of him jumping on the rock in, I believe it's called The Wild Chase, which is a cartoon from the same year, 1965. That's Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner, but also Sylvester and Speedy. It's a pretty good cartoon, I liked it, but because I watched it not that long ago, I just remembered that scene really well. And I'm sure it's identical, which I'd be very keen to watch them side by side. I might go and do that. But it just kind of struck me as odd. I've got no recollection of them ever reusing animation. But maybe they have done and I've just not noticed. But it certainly stood out to me. That aside, it's not too bad. It's not my favourite, it's not the most engaging, but it is well animated. There are some things in this that I thought were quite unique and a little bit different, so I would recommend it. Whether I'd watch it again or not, I mean, maybe. I'm not in a hurry to do so. But if you haven't seen it and you're a fan of Coyote and Roadrunner, I'd say it's worth watching once.